we got to talk about the masked marauder, Hunter Dickinson, walking into the arena last night. 3 minutes. Let's encapsulate this a little bit with Hunter. He goes to Wisconsin. It's the kind of rematch of the Juwan Howard, Greg Gard
battle. On Valentine's Day, which is ironic for whoever did that at the league office. Thank you very much.
No doubt. What are they doing? Hunter's talked a lot of shit about Wisconsin and really
scumbags. Yep.
Yeah, calling them scumbags on his pod. He does his pod on Barstool. For people that don't know, I actually was on that pod because Hunter and Jordan Bohannon asked me to go on. My biggest issue with it is I don't think those at Barstool, the guy's name is like Marty Mush or something. I don't think they have Hunter's best interests at heart there. I think they're just poking Hunter to try to say crazy shit, and I don't think it's good for Hunter. That's what I would say. Some of these kids, a lot of them are doing podcasts now, and if they've got the right people around them, like CJ Frederick does one for Field of 68, and we try to help him. We're not trying to get him to say flammable stuff. We want him to get better at it if he wants to do it.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity to do some media stuff as a player.
Yes, with Hunter, I feel like all it's about is trying to get him to say flammable shit. And
there's been too many bulletin board things that have come out of this. The Arizona State thing certainly comes to mind. Now we have this, and I think Hunter is an engaging person. When you speak to him, I've always enjoyed talking to Hunter Dickinson. He's a great player.
Yep,
but there's not many people that can go full all in WWE heel.
What did he do last night? Tell people what he did last night.
Well, he wore the ski mask into the game.
Yep.
And then he certainly had leaned into talking crazy shit to the Wisconsin student section. So it became in the starting lineups. I was so interested to how is Juwan Howard and how is Hunter Dickinson going to be received in this arena at the Kohl Center. And to start the game, Juwan Howard was booed much more than Hunter was. But if they introduced those guys at the end, it would have totally flipped. Hunter in 40 minutes had managed to, every bucket he was gesturing on the way back to the student section and, shooting free throws.
There weren't many buckets in the second half.
No, and that's the thing is if you are going to talk that amount of trash, you have to be able to back it up. And in fairness to him, they didn't do a great job of getting him the ball. He took like 3 shots. Wisconsin was fronting him and changing up to 3-quarter, and the guards weren't doing a great job of getting it to him. The ball wasn't moving. He was trying to post up for the next pass, but then the next pass wasn't getting to him. And those bigs are at the mercy of the guards to get them the rock. And you cannot wear a ski mask into 14-12 Wisconsin and lose and play and get 12-9.
And when you're not
do believe I like Hunter Dickinson. I enjoy talking to him. I agree with you that I think this podcast is not set up to help him. I think it's set up to get Barstool clicks and likes. And that's what I think about the way that pod has gone. But I think it's great that players have pods. I think they can
here's my take, Rob. Here's my take.
They can practice. There's a lot
to
like.
Hunter want? What does Hunter want more than anything? To get to the NBA, right? That's what he wants. How is this helping him? In the view of NBA guys, how is this helping him?
It's not. Of
course,
it's not helping him.
Of course, it's not.
Helping yourself to get to the NBA is going out and balling.
Right.
That's how you help yourself.
And you can have fun. You can play with emotion. All that. You want to talk some shit on the court? That's fine.
And I think he does that, and I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of guys that talk trash, and I think that it's something that gets certain guys going, and I think that it gets him going at times. But the crazy thing about Hunter Dickinson is it's by no means has he had a bad year. He's top 5 in rebounding, scoring, and blocks. In the Big Ten.
Yep.
But I just think from a team standpoint of success, it's certainly been disappointing. And not all that's his fault. Their bench is incredibly limited. They have a very limited bench. They have a very
Hunter's
limited.
done his part. He's done his part on the court. Nobody's saying he hasn't. Again, and I'm not even blaming all the podcast stuff on him other than the decision to do it with the people he did it with. That's my biggest problem. If he had done a different pod with people he trusted, they would have told them, you know what, Hunter, cut this shit. We're not going to put you in these spots, number one. Number two, if we do ask you this, here's what you need to say. Like, these are college kids. They need help with how to deal with media. They need training. They need,
for a lot of kids, it's your first time going through
he's
this.
getting none of that. He's getting none of that. And I feel bad. I feel bad for Hunter that, again, these guys are honestly taking advantage of Hunter for themselves and clicks and their own careers. And they're not going to give a shit about Hunter Dickinson in a year. That's my biggest problem, Rob.
No, anyway. I think that's totally fair.